Hey everybody, Aaron here. Welcome back to another review. I can't say per se an anime review with this one because as you guys know from the title, I will be reviewing today episode 1 of volume 4 of RWBY. So, here's the thing. I'm gonna review this because even though I know everyone's like, "Oh, it's not an anime," blah blah. I always say this I said this review with my review of RWBY way back when, but I said that I feel like RWBY was made and inspired with the heart of anime behind it. Matayam, God rest his soul, when he made this series, he made it because he was a huge anime fan and because he was a huge fan of just in general stuff like this. And when you could tell it has a lot of homages to anime. It has a lot of homages to a lot of modern day animations in general. But I really feel like it deserves the title of anime in many ways. But I know, I'm never one to say, oh, like you have to call it anime, because I know anime first and foremost is Japanese animation. So technically, it's not Japanese animation, of course. But I'm gonna call it what I call it, and I'm gonna review it on this channel nonetheless. So I am only using one image for today because it's more so every Saturday it's going to be coming out on YouTube. It's always a week behind because it's on a Rooster Teeth website first. And I know that some of you might be going, well, that sucks. You're going to use one image for this and that stuff like that. It's not that I have to use only one image. It's just that I feel like it's a little bit easier. At this point, also, I want to see and kind of gauge on how these reviews will do because, again, a whole week being behind, it could lead to some interesting things. So I'm very curious about that. But anyways, let's talk about one major thing about RWBY Volume 4 Episode 1. It looks fucking phenomenal. That's the best way I could put it in every aspect of the word. It's just so much nicer than all the previous seasons combined. And, one thing I really enjoy about it is that you can tell they really poured some heart and soul into this to make it into something that's just gonna be something way bigger. Even from the opening that you see within, like, I think the 18-minute mark or 17-minute mark, around that, it just looks so good. It really, really does. We have some big voice talent. We have the girl right here, who's the main villain of sorts, excuse me, is actually voiced by Cortana, which is awesome. So that's amazing right there alone. But in general, it just looks really good. Like, you see Team Juniper now or Team Junior, because they're not Juniper anymore because they don't have Pyrrha, unfortunately, and Ruby's not with them, so they're calling themselves Team Junior for the time being, despite that not really sounding like a good name, to be honest, is up against this giant Grim that is very, very hard to defeat, it seems like. They try everything to stop it. They can't do anything because every time they do hit it hard, it just seems like you use something else around its environment to kind of regrow its limbs and redo things with that. And we see that, as a team, though, they work very well together. With John is I think, sufficient leader in many ways, because even though he might be now still dealing with the loss of Pyrrha from, last volume, he seems like he's starting to grow up, and even though he's still got his quirky humor and his quirky natures, he looks like he's going to be a good leader for the team. In general, also, some people that look like they grew up too is RWBY. Like, RWBY still looks like she still acts like a kid, but you can almost see it in the way they animated her. I think they did that, on purpose. But you can see in many ways that she looks like she's grown up a little bit. It's been several months since the incidents of the previous, volume where they lost Pyrrha, of course. The whole entire school was attacked by Cinder and her group. We now see Cinder and her group now a bigger entity. It looks like this could have been beforehand also, but Cinder didn't walk away unscathed. She lost her eye. She's now mute for the time being. I'm thinking that's because she got hurt really bad. So everyone lost something in many ways, but it looks like the forces of evil in this case have an upper hand in many ways. But we're gonna see. I'm sure that, of course, Team Junior is gonna fight and do some interesting stuff as, of course, the season goes on. I will say right now, some things I didn't like about this were the new animation looks really nice. I will say that right now. I love the new animation. I think it looks very solid. But I'm noticing that because of its solid, I guess because of how great the animation is now, some of the character models at times look a little kind of like plasticky. And I don't know if that's the best way to describe it, but they look a little too smooth. And I think that's just because their models are still kind of reminiscent of past and also now. So fused together, it's a little bit off sometimes, but it's not really bad. I don't want to say it's like anything big of a deal, like oh my god, I can't watch it. No, not by any means. It's still really awesome to watch. I'm just saying that it's just the one issue I have with it, and it's particularly noticed like in lighting. I noticed, but moving on from that, and the opening, I'm not a huge fan of. I like the chorus element of it. It's really good, the chorus part, and I love the actual video for the opening itself. But I'm like, yeah, I feel like the other volumes were a lot stronger. Like, and that's saying something because I wasn't a huge fan of the third volume either's opening. But you know, I guess maybe also I'm kind of. I don't want to say I'm kind of jaded because I really did love the first opening. I mean, This Will Be the Day was like probably the best opening of the series, but you know it wasn't bad for what it is. It's still, you know, the music in general though, like I'm saying, the OST and stuff like this for the show is really well done. Like it really is actually a lot better than I think even the previous volume so far, because that fight with that giant Grim was really that sounded amazing. That really did. But overall, you know, I'll say right now, this is a great beginning to a series. I think that this show will do very well. I really hope it does well. I think it's getting more popular as time goes by, because I even saw it at Comic-Con this year, and I was actually able to talk to and take a picture with the voice actors for RWBY, which I talked about. I think I talked about them in my vlog of Comic-Con, but you know, I can't show that because it was essentially a selfie, so I can't really show my selfie because it would show me. But you know, eventually I'll show what I look like eventually. But anyways, guys and girls, I hope you enjoyed this. Please leave in the comments what you thought of this episode. As always, if you did like this review, hit the like button, subscribe, share the video, you know the whole nine. I will talk to you all later. Have a blessed day, everyone. I will see you in probably my next like 4 reviews coming out today. Oh, you know what? Let me also mention, just in case you are still here for this, I will be doing something very interesting today. I'm going to do a live review of Azeta episode 5, and I will explain, of course, more during that video. But I just want you guys, if you're watching RWBY, you're watching this, excuse me, if you're watching this review, you know, and you want to go see my next review, that's going to be Azeta, of course, later today, and I'll be doing a live thing for that. Anyways, I'll explain it more in that video, though. But anyways, like I said before, have a great day, everyone. Bye bye.